Okay, big game here coming up. MLB 10 the show. Another video. My stomach is still. Every time I do these videos, I always find something to talk about. And today, one of the things that I'm going to touch base on is why is it so fucking difficult to make a good amount of money for free? When I was 16 in Covenant House in Toronto, it's the largest youth shelter in all of Canada. Okay, it's run by the Ronald McDonald Foundation. So up here in Canada, like you can't even under 20, you can't even mentally go even close to that foundation because it's just too cutthroat, like financially. So like if someone, so this is an example of strong corporate. I'm just a kid in a homeless shelter. I am meaningless. That's it. Okay? The lawyer in the house with the family is way more important than me no matter what. Okay? So if I die out there in the street, no one cares. But the lawyer going back to the house in the mansion area, he's way more important. So when I'm in Covenant House, all the staff, they care about their job. And the people that tell them about the job in the youth shelter tell them that if they don't do a good job, they're going to get fired in the youth shelter. So by them doing a good job in the youth shelter, that makes my life difficult. So being in Covenant House and the Ronald McDonald Foundation running youth homeless shelters in Toronto, practically all of them, I found myself with minimal options in life. The first thing that I noticed is the TTC wasn't 24 hours a day to sleep on. Because if I gotta do something and make friends with women, that's all I cared about. I didn't really care about making friends with males, just friends with women. I used to smoke weed and stuff like that, right? Hide from the police and shit in Toronto when I was really young. Anyways, to get to the point, the TTC wasn't 24 hours a day. I don't think the subways still are. This is like 24 years ago, 25 years ago. So, just to talk about the Ronald McDonald Foundation through the homeless shelter, you had to fill out the housing search forms to go anywhere in life. If you didn't, you're not fucking gonna survive. They wouldn't even tell you that you had to. They'll tell you to fill out the housing search forms to get a room for rent and to be provided by the welfare. But they are not gonna sit there and they're not gonna tell you twice. Like, it's not their fucking job to care about you that much. It's their job to care about themselves in the Ronald McDonald Foundation, right? So the Ronald McDonald Foundation, let me just see how it is now. It's the same for sure. It's all advertising, right? But when it comes to a signature, the guy will kill you over the signature for sure. Like, you fucking can't do anything against the signature of these kinds of corporate, right? So I live in an apartment building that has a trademark in the name of the building. It's limited. So some of the companies out there that have this limited logo are really strong and passed down from years and years and years of continuing trends of constants that are profitable, right? So they keep making money and they're not losing, so they get these trademarks in their names. So you hear like a lot of like in the U.S. last names like Bloomberg and all kinds of like Wells Fargo, everything associated with like strong business names and like companies that have like smaller companies working off of them and stuff like this, right? So you never really get a chance to go against anything like that, because if someone built a coffee shop beside Tim Hortons, there's no chance, right? So that's exactly what that is. So if you don't fill out the housing search form and they have to ask you twice, most likely you have problems. So because you have problems and half of the kids don't care, right? I can't remember what the rate is, but it's like fucking high. 80, 86, 89% of all homeless shelter youths will never succeed in life. Let me check that right now. On any given night, there's about 7,000 homeless shelter youths in all of Canada. Any given night. So that fluctuates regularly. So you can see how the trends of parenting wears down, right? Once you're a parent for so long. So anyways, point is, half of those youths won't even fucking go anywhere in life. No fucking chance. They'll turn to drugs, they'll turn to alcohol, and they'll die overdosed, crime, or suicide. Suicide's a big one. Suicide's huge in the homeless shelter system. Youth, homeless, shelter, suicide rate per year. So So about 40% per year, lifetime, 40%, holy fuck, this is crazy, yo. In the life of a youth homeless shelter, with a youth, 40% of all clientele commits, attempt to commit suicide. Unhoused youth in Canada are estimated to be 10 to 14 more times likely to die by suicide as well. So if you look at that figure versus corporate and large businesses, 40% of all youth homeless really doesn't make a difference if they die or not. Can you see that? Holy fuck. So here I am at 16, and I already understand with no one in Covenant House that the fucking TTC is not 24 hours a day. So right away, I'm like way high up there. So if I don't fill out the housing search forms, there's only a couple paths for me, okay? Because I got smart off of that learning, right? So because I got smart off of that learning and I had to go back to the homeless shelter because the TTC wasn't 24 hours a day to sleep on, right? If it was, I wouldn't have gone back. I would have just fucking couch surfed on the fucking TTC and just chilled out in the fucking world. I wouldn't have cared. So, at that age, I only had a couple paths. Drugs, gangs, crime. That was it. If I was capable from the TTC to get a job and to get a place on my own, then it would be a possible path, but it wasn't a very large percentage of one. So point is, okay, that in the city of, like, North American cities, every day the youth don't matter that aren't housed, but a small percentage of them complete the housing search forms. This is like 5% of them, most likely. So when you look at, we're up against St. Louis here, 70-0 versus 38-1. So when you look at the housing for youth, the grand scheme of things, everything that generates, right? They really don't matter. So I had the odds against me most of my life. And by the time I got out of the judicial system, which is the court system for the general population, crime and whatnot, it was put on to me that I had to either fight or flight. So I took flight, and I left my old style of life, and I basically was succeeding. But in the past, in Toronto, I've succeeded a lot by beating a lot of things that are associated with, like, let's say, homelessness, crime, drugs and alcohol, everything, to stay like a regular person. So back then, yeah, I would do like drugs and shit, but I'd still go to my job, right? I'd still go to my job and shit. I wouldn't leave my job. I wouldn't go completely against the way that normal society operates, right? So, putting into the context there, once you get to a certain point and you see, oh my gosh, like, it really doesn't matter, I have to follow suit like that. Because if I sit there and I care about the things that don't matter, then I'm going to be implied as weakness. So, right now, the biggest thing, I'm like middle class and I'm just a civilian. So I'm not crime or I'm not a cop. So I'm neither of those types of people. So I'm innocent all the time. So a lot of drugs are getting taken out of the hands of people. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how many people are not using drugs out in public, in front of people. Like, the way that people look, right? You can tell, okay, that guy for sure fucking does smack, right? For sure he's a fucking piece of garbage, right? So when it comes down, when it's boiled down like that, and you see the society trend like that, it constantly keeps trending, right? So right now, I have a lot of options, and one is to quit my government job. Now, when I started the government job, my intention was to go in there quiet. Fuck, I got the worst possible algorithm immediately. Was a Caribbean guy that was a driver for me, and I was a laborer. And after the first couple days, he started to complain to me first thing in the morning about life. And when he did that, I was forced to communicate, because he's gonna make my job, my days. Okay, so the first like 2-3 days with this guy, he never spoke to me that much at all. All I did was go out on the back of the truck, work all day, reach back in the cab, and fucking sit there, eat my dinner, and fucking go back to my house and chill, play video games, and go try and mac on women, right? So, this fucking ass Jamaican, they fucking started complaining to me first thing in the morning about why he has to have a job, and why he has to have to, life is tough, and he used to call the bank in front of me, TD Canada Trust, and he used to sit there and he used to try and get extensions on pays, and when he could transfer his funds. So he started to complain really fucking hard on me, right? Like he really started to fucking really make it uncomfortable to the point where I said, hey, buddy, listen, you know what time it is? It's me working, so let's get the day done here. And then you just show up tomorrow and it's a good day, right? You have a job and all that shit. And I knew before before he got too in depth with his fucking goddamn complaining, I knew one or two scenarios he spoke about his kids. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, you have a wife and kids. So after like a week, he really started to fucking complain every day. And then he would only show up on Fridays and say happy Friday. And I'm sitting there after like 2 or 3 weeks of this guy saying happy Friday. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's something wrong with this guy. You know, there's something wrong inside here, right? In his mind. So what I do is I sit there and I knew that the government is fucking stupid. Okay? The government's always stupid. The trend of the people that have government jobs. Like if you go with police, the trend among police is not relatable at all. It's completely stupid how the job description changes from one person to another. So if you're like a general manager of like a fleet of like nurse paramedics or fucking fire department, they all don't see eye to eye on every single topic of discussion. It's impossible. You have to get the union involved right away, or the labor board, or the human resources instantly. Like, can't park there, boom, both parties go the other way, and human resources steps in, flaps his dick around, and says, this is where I'm fucking going, right here, you know what I mean? And like both parties, you're just gonna have to complain somewhere else, okay? But when you sit there, and it's like really, really bad, then like, the ministry will get involved in shit, right? Because it's like an essential service, right? So I knew the government was stupid before I started, but I had to play my cards right, so I didn't complain right away to my supervisors. I should have, maybe, but I was just starting there, and because I was just starting there, I didn't know anyone. And because I didn't know anyone, I didn't want to be known by the supervisors, which is the smartest move. Okay? Still to this day, not only does the temp agency not know who I am, but my supervisors don't know who I am. That is the best thing that I'm going through right now with transitioning to get a new job. I have until April. By the time that I go for a new job, I have to make the same as what I'm making now to survive. So I make $30 an hour right now, which is pretty tough to do out in public. So I've already came up with the idea to have 2 jobs. So I'm gonna work like 7 days a week. Now, with that being said, my job alone for 5 days makes up 7 days of stress, which is almost ready to put me back to sleep already. Woke up, had coffee and a half. The volume of the coffee, by this point, okay, so when I got free of the judicial system, in jail they give you the same thing all the time, okay? It fluctuates from day to day, little small things, but you always get whole wheat bread, you always get coffee, you always get milk, and you always get juice, okay? When you always get milk and you always get juice, then you make trades, you start making trades for your beverage, okay? That's in the jail and the prisons, like that all the time. When you make trades for your beverages, the other things that you have start to stock up, because if you don't eat the same thing every day, which is like a kind of a religious thing, So I'll just tell you about myself. Right away, I'll drink too much water if I have free time and I don't have to work. So the reason that I will drink too much water is because I'll constantly work on my body to have muscles and to attract the opposite sex. This is what I care about in my mind. Okay, it's one of the very most important things I care about in my entire life, and will always be like that. So I'll always drink more water than the food guide tells me to. And they can fucking shove it. You know what I mean? Just like air. I stay up. The amount of hours that I am alive in the day, with the minimal sleep that I have, but healthy still, and the utilization of what I do with my life, by far, half of the humans out there do not take as much air as me. Okay, so 100% I take, I would say, out of 100% of the people, 80% of them do not take more air than me on a daily basis. I can almost guarantee that. Especially when my body shuts down and I sleep like a nap in the afternoon, the air that I'm using there is still very high in severity. So with my experience and all the air that I keep to myself, a lot of people out there in life should be jealous of me forever. 100% of the time. Should hate me because I have so much free air that I constantly use properly too, and a lot of it. So with that always being known and not caring, right? I push the body's limits drastically in certain directions. Okay, these are the smartest ways. So let's say, hypothetically right now, if society changed and everyone to operate was using drugs, okay? My morals and standpoints are to be sober 24 hours a day is the best way to be a human. It will always be the best way to be a human, okay? There's no way around it, okay? It will always be the best way. To face a regular life that's stressful, like my job is so fucking stressful, living in traffic, I don't give a shit if I have a fucking goddamn cheese fucking every day. I'll fucking eat cheese every day and do my best to fight cholesterol. That's what I have to face. If I start to monitor, like in jail, switching my foods every day, that's gonna create more mental stress. And it's not worth it, which means that I'm gonna die faster. So in jail, when you start to get sick of the foods in jail, you start to make trades for other foods that you never get that often. And when that happens, you start to get yourself in trouble. So out here on road, in real life, it's easy for someone to say, fuck, I love strawberries. I'm just gonna fucking eat strawberries every day for the rest of my life. And they fucking are able to do it. There's no other trades, there's no other fucking foods being rejected. All the foods are available at all times, right? In jail, it's not like that. So I got molded in jail for like 8-9 years in the prison, in the jail system, not prison, in the jail system, that I'm gonna get the same thing every day. So out here, once I got out of the judicial system, fuck, I just went right to the same thing every day. And my health is fucking great. My B12 is down. So in the past 5 days, I've had B12 in the morning, and I'm gonna go for another blood work in like 2 months. Hopefully it raises. But other than that, when you have the foods out here every day from the judicial system, you learn about the body quick. So in and around the age of 30, 40, your body starts to reject things that you dislike a lot. So if you smell something that you don't like, absolutely forget it. That might be the last time you ever smell it, let alone try eating it. You know what I mean? So like for me, I don't know what the fuck don't I like. I don't know. Like most American foods, most North American foods I like, right? So here, international foods I do not like at all, especially Jamaican fucking dishes or African dishes. To me, that stuff is disgusting. Just like curry and fucking pad thai. Okay? All that stuff, I'll never eat again. Okay? When I never eat that stuff, because I don't like it, and my body's used to what I like, you start to think better. Okay? Because when you get older, your body gets used to everything easier. So sex is the same thing. So when you start having sex with the same partner, the rhythm is perfect. You start to enjoy the same thing all the time, right? Once the sex changes and it's no good, then you gotta move on, right? Because it's not worth it. Well, with my job and the government, halfway through the first couple of years, they told me that it was gonna change. Boy, did I get upset. I was upset. Oh, fuck, I was furious. I went home that weekend, and I thought to myself, what the fuck am I going to do? So I had to get my license. So right when I got my license, I completely shattered everything. And I'm at the top of the company, and this is on this computer here. I might be the very best in the whole entire company at multiple factors. So there's like 3,000 employees, okay? Now the most important thing that I have if I leave my job is that I have to tell them my age is affecting me not to stay any longer. The reason that I'm gonna do that is so that they have clarity moving forward without me, so I don't mentally affect them. The reason I do that is because the supervisors do not know about me, the staff do not know about me, and when I leave, that's exactly what I want. Okay? I do not want them to know about me, and I do not want them to think about me ever again. That is the way that it is. When you're a part of these jobs like corporate, Limiteds and Wells Fargo and banks, well, not so much banks, but you know, like major companies, your signature means everything. Okay, so everything that you do, your word, your actions, everything means something to that signature and the people that are working around you. So right now, I'm already starting to talk about at work with random people that I get placed with in the day that for sure I'm leaving in 7 months. But I've already told my supervisor that I am leaving. Like, well, not that I'm leaving, that I won't be able to do the job that they want me to do, which is the change of the company that's happening. So it's basically implied, without actually saying it, that once we go to a certain new change, I'm going to leave right away. Like, I'm not going to stay. They can't force me to stay. All I have to do is give them 2 weeks notice, and that's it, I'm gone. So they all for sure, because I'm most likely one of the very best in the past 2 or 3 years at the job, in all of the company business sectors, most likely they all know at my yard that I'm gonna leave once it starts, the change. So because that's happened, that happened, like I said it like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. They're starting to give me easier stuff. So because they're starting to give me easier stuff, I know that for sure they're gonna let me leave easily, which is great. Which means I haven't stirred up shit all that much, and I haven't really affected their personal lives, which is the best thing moving forward. That coming out of the yard too, I'm sure it will take another couple weeks before it spreads into the offices of the actual operating system. But once that does, and they're known that definitely my age, right? That I'm leaving and I haven't caused them problems that's over like a boundary. So like I would say maybe like I'm like below 5%. I got suspended once. Wrong place at the wrong time, and it's the story of everyone's life. So basically it's never even came up again, which is great. So nothing but good things to say about the supervisors there, but to leave the government without being a part of the government is going to be a real accomplishment by me. So once I leave, it's easy for me to go from being placed at work to getting depressed by trying to find a new job. And that's what I'm facing with right now on my weekends, is I don't want to fall back in the judicial system. So I have to do stuff where I don't get in trouble. So one of the things that I do that I might get in trouble for is being outside late at night. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I love 11 p.m. I love 1 a.m. And I definitely love 3 a.m. Okay? By far, when everyone is asleep and no one is out on the street, 3 a.m. for me is by far one of the most favorite times that I've loved my whole life. All through my 20s, all through my 30s. Just give me a second. When I go back to that life, my job is, I'm trying my best just to get a morning job. When I get a morning job, I'm going to want like a part-time afternoon job in the same day. So that's going to take up, like probably like, say 12 hours, right? So I still have 10 hours there. So the gym's gonna be easy, right? Cooking and cleaning and all that, driving, even recreational driving, right? Just get out in the car, drive around for an hour, right? It's always beneficial for your health, mentally, right? But going out and like doing stuff at 3 a.m. I really love, because no one's out there. So every time for the past like 5 years, every time I go to work, fucking no one's on the ground. No one's out there driving with me. I fucking love it, right? So with no one fucking out there driving with me, I always obey most of the rules on the road, and that's what keeps me my license, man. So when I get out there, and it's like 2, 3 in the morning, it's gonna be tough, right? So I know no one's out there. No one's out there at 2 or 3 in the morning, fucking nobody. So it's easy for me to break the rules, right? But anyways, so the point is, I'm just gonna go for a day job. Probably just gonna go through the temp agency because it's the easiest. It's so easy, and I have there's like 3 or 4 there's like definitely 2 temp agencies that have my profiles, which is good. I've never been fired from any. And they'll just place me in any place. I'll try maybe a couple places here for a couple months and then see what I like and then try and aim for that. But one of the things that I don't want to get involved in is selling drugs. So it's easy for me now that I'm older to be older and to carry a certain amount of drugs and sell it without worrying about too many things. Okay? So I'll give you an example. I'm not a part of a gang, so I don't care. Right? So I don't care what I do. When you're a part of a gang, if you affect the other gang member, you're fucking gonna get stabbed and shit. You're gonna get shot. You're gonna get tortured and killed. That's how gangs operate. It's like what are the 4 big gangs on the earth? The 5th one's hidden. But 4 big gangs on the earth: motorcycle gangs, the Crips, the Triads, and the Middle Eastern terrorists. The fucking Hezbollah, Al Qaeda, Taliban, they're all the same gang to me. Okay? So those 4 big gangs of types of people, I'm not involved in any of them. So right now, even if the police were listening and watching through the technology, because of how old I am and the cool things that I've gone through in my life, even if they're watching my phone live right now without it even being connected to social media, and I don't even think I have a Wi-Fi signal going on this phone. There's one on this phone, right? And easily the FBI could easily use a satellite to track me. They could be seeing right through the whole fucking goddamn apartment building watching me because I got some secret thing in my apartment that they want, but they can't fucking get it. Okay, and I don't know what it is. But, one time in Maplehurst, I snuck something out of Maplehurst. Can you believe that? I've also snuck something into Maplehurst, too. I've actually snuck a couple things in Maplehurst. Nothing bad, but definitely I've snuck something in. So I've snuck like 2 main things into Maplehurst. And it's tough to say which one's worse. But the one that is the most severe with other people was I flushed it. And when I flushed it, the next morning, they flipped the cells. Holy fuck. Was I sitting there and I was like, holy fuck. What are the chances of that, eh? And Maplehurst is on the west side of Toronto. So if you ever get in trouble at like Finch or the West End, you can sometimes be held at Maplehurst. So instead of the West Detention. So I went to Maplehurst and I had a pretty tough go there. So the cell person that was there, he was going through legal and the courts, so he wasn't there that day. So that's when I flushed the contraband down the toilet. And when I did that, the very next morning they flipped all the cells. Was I ever lucky? If they found me with that contraband, can I tell you that all of a sudden being a regular civilian, whenever I leave this apartment and I go out in public, I'm not a cop or I'm not a criminal. So I'm just a regular person out there in the community. You can tell when some people are hardcore that for sure they're a fucking police officer at heart. Okay? Or they're the military at heart. Okay? I'm neither a cop or the criminal. But if I got caught with that contraband in the jail, it's like a new charge that you would get. And you end up becoming a new class of criminal. And I was so lucky. So, because I was so lucky, I dodged a major bullet by being just a single felon, right? Just an operating felon on his own. That's what I was for like 10 years. I was getting charged. I have like 6 or 7 pages of my police record of charges. Yep. Went to jail fucking like probably like 5 times, 6 times. There's like 3 times when I spent a day. There's a time when I spent 2 months. There's a time when I spent a month. There's a time when I spent like 45 days, right? It might be 7 times. There's a time when I spent a week. There's definitely a time when I spent 2 weeks. Right? Right now, I haven't been to jail in almost 10 years, I think. Yeah, roughly around 10 years. But I can still remember the days of the meals, which meals were given and how it is. Fuck, forever. I fucking stole something from the jail, snuck it out of the jail to keep for myself, that I survived. So it doesn't matter what anyone says or who's watching right now. I already destroyed it, threw it away. It's in the dump, the very same dump that I go to every day. It's there, cut up into 100 million little small pieces. I did that for sure. Just so I never got caught. Because if you got caught with something like that out here, I don't know. No, you probably won't get in trouble. Let's see. Nah. Okay, so there's a couple times when I had 2 trays in my cell. Because the plastics are hard, they say that people can use them for shanks. But like, people take a whole bunch of stuff out of there, man. What do they take? Soap. Fucking, what else? Food. Right? Books. Steal like jail property, books. They take the books with them out there. That's worse than anything. Right? Once you get discharged from the jail, you take the book from your cell out of the jail with you. Holy fuck. That's one of the worst criminals out there. I didn't do that though. I didn't take the bed sheets either. Some people will take the bed sheet or the blanket, right? Or the clothes. Some people will take the clothes, the shoes. I tell you that the Crips, for sure, use the shoes to take from the jails. All the time you see them on the bus with the jail shoes. I swear, in the back right seat, the far back of the bus system, the very back right seat, a lot of them have jail shoes on there. Okay? Not me though. I took some things. Anyways, it's destroyed, it's gone, long story, gone. Okay? Anyways, all I gotta do is get a day job. I don't know if I'm gonna drive anymore. I might save up for my AZ, but it's just like a fucking huge truck that I gotta drive. And I'm just 40's old, man. Fuck. 40 is fucking goddamn old. I'm getting close to forcing myself to want to retire soon, because it's just, life is just too tiring sometimes, right? I want to get out of Canada, right? I want to go to the south and enjoy my life. I'm always going to be up here, Burlington, in the Halton region in the summer. I'll never leave the Halton region in the summer. But just to travel out of the winter up here in the Halton region would help me. My fucking nose is clogged again. I can't believe it. So we're up 5-1 here. So anyways, I got 6 months to go, and I got to make up for $30 an hour, which is, I'm just going to work 6-7 days a week. I got a new tattoo I'm trying to get soon. And then GTA 6 is coming out. So yesterday I was talking about getting a second TV, which most likely is going to happen. I have probably about $30,000 left to make at my job. And when I do that, by the time I leave, I should have roughly about $45,000 in the pension. With my pension all being at $45,000, all I have to do is contribute, around $50,000 more for by the time I hit 50, 55. So I think early retirement is age 60. Early retirement age in Canada, 60. So I'll have, when I turn 41 in a week, or 2 weeks, I can't remember what it is. Last year I forgot my birthday almost entirely. Can you believe that? It was like, I thought about it in the morning as I was going to work. And when I got to work, it was normal. I was institutionalized, right? Completely brainwashed by my everyday life, constantly doing the same thing every day, right? So I forgot my birthday at the workplace for sure. I don't think I remembered it. I might have once, but it was not a long-term memory. And then by the time the day was ending, then I was like, oh fuck, it's my birthday fully today. That's when it really fucking, right? Anyways, so I got another week and a half, and I got 19 years until age 60. Right now, my health is fucking tip-top. Heart, arteries, everything is fucking gorgeous, right? No fucking cholesterol, no fat in my plaques, empty. My lungs are clear, right? Right? When I leave my job, I'll have a couple options, but if I ever need pain medicine, like smoking weed is an option, right? But I am in Canada, so I got the best medicine too. I'm gonna lose my insurance, which is like that's the biggest thing I think that will happen when I leave, is my insurance will not be with me anymore. Fuck. Some of the medication I buy is fucking like $40, $50, $60 for just a small little capsule like this, right? That medicine, $40, $50, $60, I can spend fucking $40, $50, $60 on cannabis and make it last fucking almost twice that length, right? So if that's the way that it goes, I don't want to smoke, right? I don't want to smoke weed, but if that's what the money comes down to, then I'll have to. I'll have no choice, right? So I try and keep my body nice and strong, nice and fit, right? Do my best, have the most air, have the most water out of all the people that I see every day without them even being that smart to know. The white women would be that smart, for sure. But a regular man, no fucking chance. Especially a corporate man, no fucking chance. A corporate businessman has so many options that the body never goes against him. Okay? So you see my body, I'm fucking tired and I just woke up because I keep fucking using it. The businessman, like the corporate businessman, he only needs to do so much because he has so much money. So his body's completely masked. But he can read all the less important people. And definitely the internationals' bodies are the worst, right? Because most of them all smell, right? Like they fucking take a shower. They have a shower. The Chinaman or the fucking Crip or the Jamaican Rasta guy or the taxi driver or the truck driver, freight driver, right? Takes a shower, has a shower, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, if he sweats, that's it. He's done. The whole day he'll fucking stink. The whole fucking day. Trust me. I used to play sports, okay? Through homeless shelter life. Okay, so I know everything about youth playing sports with me. I know that the white guys, their hockey equipment, not the same as mine. Let's just say that, okay? The white guys are clean. They don't smell too much. But their sporting equipment is not the same as mine. And I don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? So, with all that being said, going out there and not having my insurance, I'm going to face new options. And cannabis is highly possible in my 50s. But the main thing is I have to keep my body healthy. That's the main thing. And I'm fucking trying my best to do that. The rest of my life, sober is the fucking, by far, the best living that you ever want. There's no way around it. It is 100% the best. You know, even if I drank alcohol right now, once every couple days, I could mask that it doesn't affect me for the rest of my life and still operate correctly, but deep down in my inner monologue, in my heart and my mind, it does. It does. Right? 100% it does. I could hide on the exterior that it doesn't with common people around me. Driving would be the first thing with the alcohol, for sure. Oh, fuck, man. Right? So it's all about your mindset when you get there. Anyways, the point is, I'm going to try my best, but I have to leave my job. I have to. There's no fucking way I'm staying. I'm not even going to do the labor part of the small job descriptions there. It's just not worth it. The change overall will take away the whole way that it operates. And I was saying this 2 years ago to some guys, there's no way that I could get the job now. If I applied today to the job that I have now, I'll fucking never get it. I wouldn't even be able to fucking break the fucking 2 months there. No way. Me showing up to my job now through the temp agency, or fucking even being possibly directly hired, I would be fucking 2 weeks. There's no way. No way. There's way too many things that they want to accomplish in the new kind of developing trend that I just wouldn't do. As a driver, I'm not gonna place my hands 10 and 2 up there. Not at the lights, not at the stop sign, not in front of the fucking kids, not in front of the families. I'm not gonna fucking do it. No fucking way. I'm not doing it, right? I'm not gonna single foot all day long. I'm not gonna fucking do it. I'm not gonna operate the procedures exactly perfectly every single time. I'm not gonna fucking do it. And I'm most certainly not gonna shut off the cell phone. Because if they ask me to shut off the cell phone, then for sure I'm gonna take a day off. Okay? If I go to work tomorrow, 5 years I've been there. If they tell me that the cell phone has to be shut off and that they're gonna use the radio dispatch, I'm gonna tell them, go fist yourself, bud. Okay? Go fucking take a whole fist and shove it right in your own asshole. Okay? And go all the way high five. High five yourself right up to the ceiling of your fucking colon. Okay? Because I'll never shut off my fucking cell phone there. Ever. Okay? They'll fucking do that. I know the government, trust me. I know Ronald McDonald Foundation in fucking Toronto, ground fucking zero. If they have to, they'll fucking do it. Especially when it's about money. They'll fucking go right now to the fucking yard, have a secret fucking goddamn government meeting about the job, and say Monday morning, tomorrow, T minus fucking 6 hours, no one's allowed their fucking cell phones on forever. And they'll see me show up with the cell phone on, and they'll see me doing the signal like this, bud. Okay? Fully fucking like this. And when I leave, after they dismiss me with a suspension, and then I file a grievance with Human Resources, as I'm leaving towards the first police cruiser I see, and the Ronald McDonald Sr. that is around him, monitoring him, the first thing that I'm going to gesture is this movement right here, that the police can shove this right in his ass, that I have to have a job my whole life, and I can't be a homeless man and try my best to just panhandle or make money, cash money, okay? If he has a problem with me making legitimate cash money and not being in the fucking properties of taxes, the policeman can see this with the fucking full gesture of his own fist going right up his far inside asshole and hitting the ceiling and getting all the G tingles to happen, okay? You fucking tell me that I have to fucking do that, okay? Because I'm not gonna fucking sit there and I'm not gonna listen to that. You know what I mean? There's no point. I'll go work cash jobs for 5-10 years, make enough money, and then I'll go fucking find a new job, and until it fucking changes for the worse, then I'll fucking, after it does, I'll leave. Fuck. I'm not going down like a bitch like that. Fuck that. I'm not doing that stuff, man. I won't join a gang. There's no way with crime and stuff like that. But I will do fucking regular, normal life stuff. And I'm not a criminal and I'm not a cop, so I'm just a normal guy. So I'll tell the policeman right away. If he tells me I gotta get a job and pay taxes, I'll use the left hand first. I'm ambidextrous and he can fucking just goddamn shove it right in front of me, right at the street corner. Okay? Yeah, he fucking can. I don't care. I have no problem with the cops. Never have, never will. They keep the streets safe. But if they're forced to police me to pay taxes, then they know where to go. Right back to the Ronald McDonald Foundation. Okay? And fucking talk to the boss. I'll just go out there and I'll ask one of the grandpas for fucking leftovers for dinner. I'm not going to jail. I'm not stealing. I'm not gonna fucking steal. I'm not joining a gang. And if they say, fuck, you gotta pay taxes and you gotta do life a certain way, and if you don't, then you're gonna get fucking excluded. I'm gonna tell the grandpas. I'm gonna tell Ronald McDonald Foundation. I'll tell anyone. Catch me if you can, buddy. Catch me in society like a real man. Try and do it. Because I'll just job cycle for fucking 25 years. I'll go fucking to a new city and I'll ask for leftovers for dinner. And I'll save my money that way and I'll fucking sleep in my car. And I'll keep all my banks. And I'll just keep telling the bus driver, you're the new policeman, because I started doing it too much with gestures and signals. You can just start bus driving this figure right here in the mirror. And while you're driving, it's in the reflection of the windows. So just make sure you don't even fucking look at me. You understand? Because that's what I'll fucking do. I'll just hide in the government system. I'm not fucking kidding. I lived through it when I was a kid. I know exactly what it is. And I do not fucking care. It's not worth... It's not worth your life and your mind. I'm not losing. And there's some stuff that's really important to me right now that I feel I'm not losing. So I got 6 more months to hide at my job, which is easy. Fucking Jesus. I want to go on a vacation. I want to bad. We'll see what happens, but I have my passport still. Let's check. Let's see right now where my passport is. My passport should be 2028, I think. Look at how fucking awesome the passport is, hey? Is that fucking sick? I think the passport is 2028. 2034. Yo, I got the big time one. Yes, man. I'm fucking so happy. My picture's quality, too. I went to Shoppers Drug Mart for like 3 different types of pictures. And I picked a good one. Yeah, man. Fuck, my picture's wicked, yo. There's always like that, man. That's what I'm saying, yo. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. All right, so seven three Toronto at home, top of the 7th. I think I might switch my pitcher. Excuse me. I bought some strawberries, and one day, I've lost half of them already. Almost half of them I've lost. It's too bad. Strawberries are tough to keep. When you retire, you can just walk to the store every day. You know what I mean? So you just isolate your foods that way. I know when I'm 60, I'm gonna nap. I'm gonna find pleasure, I think, in napping. I don't know. The afternoon seems a tough one for me. Morning naps seem normal, and then staying up later might be like, just because of my life being that way from young, the night, right? So I might nap second time in the morning from 60 to 80 to 90. But right now with my blood work, 90, 95, I'm on pace for sure. 100%. All I'm down is my B12. I just got to raise that in the next 3 months, and then I just got to follow that. So basically, all I'm doing right now is just powering cereal and yogurt 4 or 5 days a week, right? So if I see the blood work go up, then I'll keep it that way. If it's not going up regularly, then I'll pump it up to 6 days a week, right? That's the way it is. Clobbered right there, another doubly. But once I quit my job, I can already see for sure I'm gonna slow severely down on coffee. So I think all I have to do with the coffee slow down is just, I don't know, water's tough, but there's no way that I drink coffee every day after I leave this job. No way. No way. Fuck. Coffee's way too strong for me. At Tim Hortons, I don't even drink that coffee in my own personal life. Huh. Well, I drink watered down coffee, right? That's the type of coffee that I like. It's like completely watered down. So I just drink Tim Hortons because I naturally must to deal with the factors of work, right? So in 7 months, at least half of my coffee intake could be completely. So I could be on coffee like 2 or 3 times a week from age like 43 right up to, 41 or 42 right up to fucking 60. The fucking Vernon Wells hits a home run. Can you believe it? Kaboom! Over the fence. I can't believe the Jays might make the fucking playoffs. That's fucked. If they win the World Series, I'm going right to my chiropractor and I'm gonna buy him a Blue Jays donut. Because they'll probably sell that in playoffs. I mean, like, he's probably one of the first people I'd go talk to. For sure. I tell him, I don't know. I might buy him tickets for next season, too. You know what I mean? Because he's a cool guy. Nothing wrong with that. Pretty funny, eh? So I'm gonna pop my new closer in, I think, for the 9th inning here. Let me get him in there. His name is Mike McDougall. Mr. McDougally. Double play. Fuck yeah. Holy fuck, John McDonald might hit a home run here. No, close. He only has 4 home runs the whole year. Oh. Solid. You know what's interesting for my profile on the PlayStation Network is after I quit my job, God of War should be coming out. That'll give me enough time to prepare for that game. Oh, this guy's pretty good. Let's see. Save it. What other pitches? 2-seamer. I think this is the last out. Almost. That was the one right there, y'all. Woo! I should go for a walk soon. Many registered pension plans allow an early retirement age, often 55. Wow! So you can retire. So if you take benefits at age 55, your reduction at 85 is significant. That's the bad thing. Sean Markham gets the win. I'm also going to get a win here by picking a perfect strawberry. And the second. Anyways, that's the whole thing about the stories. But we got some more videos to make before GTA 6. So it's the end of August. I got until November. So we're going to try and do as many of these as we can. We're halfway through the season almost. I got about 5-6 more games and we'll be halfway through. And that's almost roughly a full year doing these videos, which is going to be great in the future. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.